Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanubhishtam Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Nirupandugacharya Varyam Burupa Manjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Karuniyam Yugacharya Narayanam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuise Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismirahasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kriparide Swapriya Charana Kinkarin Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyam Brindai Tulasi Devi Ai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo, Ramo, Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhatama Shri Guru Pada Padma and Nitalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribrajakacharya Ashtotara Satasi Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudeva. And to my most worshipable Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nitalila Pravishtam Vishnupada Shtotra Satasi Srimad Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavata Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So, today we begin with the chapter 8, Ashtayama Sadhana, Ratri Lila, Prema Bhajana Sambhoga. From midnight to 3.5 praharas of the night, approximately from midnight to 3:30 a.m. So, text 1. Steadiness in perfection, that is, one-pointed dependence on Shri Krishna, is described in Shikshastaka number 8. Aslisava padaratam pinastumam adharshanam arma hatam karotuva yatha tathava vidadhatulam pato mat prananatastu saiva naparha. Let that devotee Krishna tightly embrace this maidservant who is devoted to serving him and thus delight me. Or let him trample me under his feet or break my heart by not being present before me. He may do whatever he likes, even if he lies with his other beloveds. Directly in front of me, he is still my prananata, the Lord of my life. In my heart, there is no one other than him. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 20:48, we have a very similar verse. That's in which Madhiradika said, "My dear friend, I am a maidservant of the lotus feet of Rasikshakara Shri Krishna, who is an ocean of happiness. He may make me joyful by tightly embracing me, or he may trample me beneath his feet. He may make me happy by mercifully being present before me, or he may break my heart by not appearing before me. He may not understand my inner desires. Nonetheless, he is the Lord of my life." So this verse is the definition of prema. The nature of prema is that it is always accepting whatever the beloved does. Prema is such feeling that it will never create any type of conflict. So whatever Krishna does, that will make Srimati Radhika happy. Why? Because she's happy because he is happy. Also, there is no any trace of selfishness in this prema. So even if Krishna sports with other gopis, Radhika, she's not bothered by that because she loves Krishna. She's not expecting that Krishna will only love her. So now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. Srila Gurudeva quotes one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 20, 49 to 52. Sakhi, I have decided that he may love me and display my fortune by abandoning other beautiful ladies in order that he be controlled by me. He may make them unhappy by performing his loving affairs with me in front of them. Or he may be deceitful, arrogant, duplicitous, and debauched. And just to provoke me, he may torment me by showing affection to other ladies in my presence. Still, he and only he is my prananatha. I am not the least concerned for my own suffering. I only desire his happiness always. The goal of my life is to make him happy in every way. If he takes pleasure in giving me distress, that distress is my greatest joy. So this is the best description that we can get about prema. Now text number 2. A devotee who remembers these pastimes is transcendental, being filled with eternality, knowledge and bliss, just like the Supreme Lord. A Vaishnava body is not different from Shri Krishna's body. In this regard, in Srimad Bhagavatam 11:29-34, Shri Krishna says to Uddhava, when a person abandons all fruitive activities and fully surrenders himself to me, he becomes a recipient of special prema. This is a result of my merciful treatment of him. I release him from old age and grant him entrance into my eternal pastimes, where he serves me eternally. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. Having explained Sambandha Tattva, the living entity's relationship with the Supreme Lord, Abhideya Tattva, the process to attain the Supreme Goal, and Prayojana Tattva, the Supreme Goal itself, to his dear devotee Uddhava, Bhagavan Shri Krishna describes the situation of a pure devotee who is exclusively surrendered to him. As the mortal living entity wanders throughout this material existence, he attains the association of Shri Krishna's eternal associates according to the extent of his sukriti. Due to his association with pure devotees, he relinquishes the desire for performing nitya karma and naimitya karma. Means the daily and the occasionally prescribed duties, sense enjoyment and liberation, and he cultivates pure bhakti. The darkness of his ignorance is removed by the light of bhakti, just as darkness is removed by sunshine. The devotee then serves the Supreme Lord with a full sense of possessiveness towards him, and Sri Bhagavan bestows upon that devotee a spiritual body, appropriate for rendering eternal service to him. That means he bestows a body, qualities, activities, service, and so on, according to the particular mood of the sadhaka. So in this chapter, the first verse described the nature of prema according to Radharani's, standards. And now, Srila Bhakti Thakur, he is beginning to explain how we are going to achieve that prema. So then, in order to get that prema, you have to understand where that prema is present. So that prema is present in the heart of the eternal associates of Radha and Krishna. So the more you develop taste and desire to serve those type of devotees, the more you get that love in your heart. And by the appearance of prema, then bhakti manifests, and by that all the darkness of ignorance is removed. And then gradually you are going to manifest that spiritual body, which is actually the manifestation of prema. So gradually, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is going to put, all the steps towards that prema. So then continue. As a result of associating with devotees who are of the same mood, swajatiya, and affectionately disposed, snigdha saya, towards oneself, The sadhaka who is endowed with Madhurya Rati attains a desire in his heart to render service in the amorous mellow or Madhurya Rasa. And by practicing bhakti and by the mercy of devotees, he reaches the state of perfection, Siddha Avastha. Such a devotee performs his sadhana internally under the guidance of Lalita and other Sakhis, and by their mercy, he attains a form like that of a Nitya Siddha Manjari, and he experiences the pleasure of directly rendering intimate service to the divine couple in Sri Brajadhama. This constitutes the attainment of Swarupa Siddhi, after which the living entity achieves Vastu Siddhi, and for eternity serves Sri Radha in the eternal land of Vrindavan. Such service is only attained by sadhakas in Madhurya Rasa, not others. So what is Swarupa Siddhi? Swarupa Siddhi is when you have the manifestation of your spiritual body here in this material world during the manifested pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And then once Krishna completes his pastime and he goes back to Goloka Vrindavan, then he will take you along with him. And then when you enter Goloka Vrindavan, then this is the state called Vastu Siddhi. So now text number 3. The steadiness in bhajan as described in Sri Manashiksha number 2. O my dear mind, please do not perform either dharma, which produces piety, or adharma, which gives rise to sin, that are mentioned in the Shrutis. Rather, render profuse loving service to Sri Radha Krishna Jugal, whom the Shrutis have ascertained to be supremely worshipable above all others and the topmost truth. Always remember Satchidanandana Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is endowed with the sentiments and bodily luster of Sri Radha, knowing him to be not different from Sri Nandanandana. And always remember Sri Gurudev, knowing him to be most dear to Sri Mukunda. So now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhajana Rahasya Priti. Dharma and adharma are defined in the Shrutis and its subsidiary literature, such as the Smritis. Every activity a person performs falls into one of these two categories. If people were prohibited from performing dharma and adharma, it would be impossible for them to live a moment even. Therefore, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has not forbidden all of the activities performed by the sense organs. Those who are ignorant are meant to perform dharma and auspicious activities, whereas learned jivas who have attained knowledge of their spiritual identity are instructed to act on the platform of Atmarati or Krishna Rati. In other words, they are instructed to perform loving service to Sri Radha Krishna Jugal. The sadhaka should perform all his activities in a mood of service to the Supreme Lord. Householder devotees should worship deities at home and perform the activities of earning money, maintaining their family members, and protecting their assets and home as services to their Lord. One should consider oneself a mere servant of the Lord. So in this verse, Srila Gurudev is explaining that before you even think to achieve prema, you have to be able to follow proper dharma. If you cannot even maintain the simple dharma of your ashram, either a grihastha or a sannyasi, what to speak of achieving prema? So in this way, rules and regulations were given to all the devotees. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is always emphasizing for the teachings to the grihasthas, to the householder devotees. So in Srila Gurudev now, following the same line, he's giving instructions to the grihastha devotees here. They should always worship deities at home. They should earn money, maintain their family members, and also perform service to the Lord and the Vaishnavas. When you are in the renounced order of life, you have some, risk that you become too much puffed up, arrogant, because you have achieved a very high position of renunciation and also of spiritual leadership. But if you are a householder, you also have some risks. If you think that you are a big donor or you are a very rich person, you can perform a lot of services and only through your service that Gurudev is pleased, then this is also false ego and arrogance. And if you think that because you have more money, you can do a better service. This is also detrimental to your bhajan. Therefore, Gurudev, he ends this purport by saying, one should consider oneself a mere servant of the Lord. Don't think that what you have earned, this is due to your talents alone. This is also Krishna's mercy to you. So now text 4. Srila Sanatana Goswami's mood of humility is reflected in the following statement, which is imbued with the firm hope, characteristic of a Jatarati Bhakta devoted to bhajan. So this verse is quoted by Srila Rupa Goswami Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3.35. My heart is devoid of prema for you, and I am not qualified to perform bhakti by hearing and chanting. I possess no knowledge, pious activities, or qualifications of a Vaishnava, nor have I taken birth in a high-class family. I am therefore unqualified in every respect. Nevertheless, O beloved of the gopis, your mercy also falls upon the lowest of the low. This firm hope of attaining you has made me very agitated. In this verse, we see the example of humility. And humility is also a sign of prema. And those who have prema, they always say, I have even not a scent of prema, just like Radharani said, na prema gandho. So now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. The humility is the foundation of bhakti, and it is by humility that bhakti increases. Srila Sanatana Goswami defines humility as follows. When a person has all good qualities, but feelings arise in his heart of being unqualified, wretched and inferior, this is called humility. In other words, humility is the utmost anxiety to attain Sri Bhagavan. A humble person is without false ego, even though he possesses all good qualities. Only humility can attract Sri Krishna's mercy, and genuine modesty only appears when prema is fully ripe. So due to such humility, the Jatarati Sadhaka prays, O Pranavalabha, I have no attachment for you. I am incapable of performing Shravana and the other practices in the ninefold path of devotion. My meditation is not unbroken like that of the Jnanis. I do not perform service according to Varnashram. I have not taken birth in a high-class family, and I have not performed any pious activities. My hope is solely dependent on your mercy, which all the Mahajanas glorify. You are the master of the wretched, and you bestow your mercy upon them. That is one verse in the song of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in which he says, Patita pavana hetu tavaya avatar, moshama patita prabhu na paibhyar. Saying, O Prabhu, you are savior of the fallen, patit pavan. But then you can look to me, I am the most fallen of all. So Srila Sanatana Goswami possesses all virtues, yet filled with humility, he spoke this verse. Although a Jatarati Sadhaka performs profuse service, he thinks, I have never done any seva. He thinks, I have never done any seva. The Sadhaka's only desire is to perform prema seva, pure bhakti, that is devoid of karma and jnana. This is Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, and it is attained only through Shravana, Kirtana, and so forth. If a person is too attached to fruitive activities, whatever little devotion is in his heart disappears. And if someone desires material gain, adoration, and fame, Bhakti Devi neglects that person. Bhakti only increases in the heart of one who is humble and sincere, and only humility that is truly devoid of pride causes the flowing current of mercy to swell. The method of performing Nama Sadhana is to chant the holy name while feeling humbler than a blade of grass. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 17:31-33 says that considering oneself even lower and more worthless than insignificant grass that has been trampled beneath everyone's feet, being more tolerant than a tree, being prideless and offering respect to everyone, according to their respective positions, one should continually chant the holy name of Sri Hari. Raising my hands, I declare, everyone please hear me. String this verse on the thread of the holy name and wear it around your neck for continuous remembrance. One must strictly follow the principles given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this verse. If one simply follows in the footsteps of Sriman Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis, certainly he will achieve the ultimate goal of life, the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. Text number 5. The identity of a perfected soul is described in Sri Rahasya Sudhanidhi 53. When will I be able to count myself as a very skillful, delicate young girl, always staying close by my Swamini, alert to serving her every need, wearing her silken bodice that she affectionately gave me with her own hands. So here, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, he is expressing the mood of the Manjaris, the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, always ready to serve Srimati Radhika. So this is the perfection that the Gauriya Vaishnavas are aspiring for. So now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. The Rasikacharyas conclude that when the sadhaka enters the stage of perfection, he attains the bhav he meditates upon while in the stage of sadhana. The cherished desire of the Gauriya Vaishnavas is to possess the self-identity of being a maidservant of Sri Radha. The appropriate sadhana to attain one's swarupa and one's service to Sri Radha is revealed by the spiritual master. So then Gurudeva quotes one verse from Sanat Kumara Samhita and another one from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. So the translation is, a sadhaka of Raga Marga should internally perceive himself to be one of the young, beautiful gopi beloveds of Shri Krishna. He should meditate on his desired swarup as a female companion of Sri Radha's maidservants, such as Shri Rupa Manjari and Shri Rati Manjari, and adorned with ornaments mercifully given by them. He should completely absorb himself in service to Sri Radha Madhav according to their instructions. So the word Chintayet in the above verse from the Sanat Kumara Samhita means that the sadhaka should nourish the following firm conception. I am a Kishori with the same moods and qualities as Sri Radha's Nitya Siddha Manjaris. So it means that we should look to the Nitya Siddha Manjaris like Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari especially, which are Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswamis, and desire to serve just like them and under their guidance. A Gauriya Vaishnava sadhaka in deep meditation will be fixed in this idea. I am not this body, these senses or mind. I am a maidservant of Sri Radha, and I am endowed with qualities such as the beauty and disposition of a young cowherd maiden, Gopa Kishori. This deep meditation on the soul will quickly result in his giving up identification with the material body, and he will attain Swarupa Siddhi. So one point we have to make it clear. This process is not like imagination, okay? That I will start to imagine in my mind that I am a Manjari. No, this is not the process. This should come naturally as a spiritual realization. So when Guru, he thinks the disciple is ready, he will reveal his name, his seva, and then by the order of Guru, he will start to meditate on that name and that seva, and by that stimulation, gradually the Swarupa will manifest. So in this text 5, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati describes the method of becoming a beautiful young Gopa Kishori. I will meditate on myself as a Kishori adorned with the silken cloth and bodies that Swamini gave me with her own hands. So it means that I will accept the remnants of Srimati Radhika. Whatever object she's giving me, I am keeping that in supreme regard. Swamini's affection and compassion is directly experienced through the personal effects and articles of clothing she hands on, inherent to which is a visceral impression of the sweetness of the divine couple's amorous play. Absorption in one's Swarupa invokes moods of service and intimacy, and so a clever young girl is described who is always at her Swamini's side and intent on performing various services to her. Sri Radha's maidservants derive their life force from her service. It is the taste of service that consolidates their spiritual forms. The main goal of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is to become a Radha Dasi, a maidservant of Sri Radha. The sadhaka remains ever fixed on this goal, just as the position of the pole star is fixed in the sky. By the mercy of Shri Guru, the sadhaka is introduced to his eternal identity as a maidservant of Sri Radha. Upon attaining that, he abandons his bodily identity as a servant of Maya, and he purely identifies himself as Radha Dasi. In his song, Sri Radha Krishna Padakamalimana, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, Lalita Shakira Ayoga Kinkari Vinoda Dhari Japai. This unworthy maidservant of Sri Lalita Sakhi, Bhakti Vinod, beseeches you by clasping your lotus feet. So this is how we identify ourselves spiritually, under the guidance of, in the group of Lalita Sakhi, under the guidance of Rupa and Rati Manjaris. Now text number 6. The method of bhajan and place of residence of one who possesses the mood described in the previous text is explained in Sri Upadeshamrita number 8. Tannam marupa charitati sukirtananu smrityukramena rasanamana sinyoja tistam brajet danuragi jananugami kalam nayeda kilam iti upadesh saram. While living Braj as a follower of those who are attached to Sri Krishna, one should utilize all his time by gradually transferring the absorption of his tongue and mind from matters other than Krishna to the chanting and remembering of narrations of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. This is the essence of all instruction. So now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. The essential meaning of this text is that in accordance with his own bhav, the sadhaka should remember his beloved Sri Krishna, as well as his devotees who possess the same mood as himself. One should reside in Brajamandala while being immersed in chanting the names of Sri Krishna, such as Radharaman and Radharasa Bihari, that are favorable to his own bhav, and in hearing narrations of pastimes connected to those names. If it is not possible to reside in Braja physically, one should reside there mentally. This text explains both the process of bhajan and the best place to perform bhajan. No place is superior to Brajamandala for performing bhajan of Sri Radha Krishna. The most exalted devotees, such as Brahma and Uddhav, therefore pray to take birth in Braj as a blade of grass or a plant. So this is the end of the purport. So while residing in Braj, we should be under the guidance of the Anuragijan, those who have very deep loving attachment for the service of Radha and Krishna. And they must be on the same bhav that we want to achieve. And then by that we should always perform kirtan of Radha Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. And by that, gradually our Swarupa will manifest. Now text number 7. The Raganuga Bhakta's method of bhajan is to perform his desired eternal service, Siddha Seva, under the constant guidance of the Guru. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2-194 says, Krishnam smaram janam chasya prishtam nijas samihitam tatat katharatas chasu kuryad vasam braje sada. The devotee who desires Raganuga Bhakti should constantly remember Vrindavana Krishna, along with Krishna's beloved associates who have the same mood as him. He should remain engrossed in hearing and speaking narrations of their pastimes and always reside in Braja. Now the commentary of Srila Gurudeva Bhajana Rahasya Vritti. The process of Raganuga Bhakti is that the sadhaka should remember his beloved and worshipable, every youthful Nandanandana Shri Krishna, as well as the dear Sakhis, such as Shri Rupa Manjari, who possess the mood that he cherishes. He should hear narrations about them while remaining a resident of Sri Nandaraja's Braja, that is, by physically residing in Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radhakunda, and other such places, if he is able to do so. If not, he should reside there mentally. These places are saturated with Sringara Rasa, and in bhajan, they are stimuli, uddipaka for a spiritual rapture and remembrance of the pastimes. So therefore, if we cannot physically reside in Braj, at least we should meditate in those pastime places every day. There are two ways of remembering those pastimes, places. You can do it while you give Jayadwani to different places. And that includes also the song that we sing, Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan, because the song is only about giving Jai. Otherwise, when you are doing japa, you can also remember the pastime places in Vrindavan. So therefore, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he prays, Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kutira, Govardhana Parvata Yamuna Tira. A vine-covered bower on the banks of Radha Kund, Govardhan Hill, the banks of Yamuna. Such sadhakas should remember the narrations of Krishna's dear associates, the Rasika devotees of Braj, who are favorable for his bhava, such as Shri Rupa Manjari and other Sakis, and he should serve them. In this way, their moods will be transmitted into his heart. An example of this is Shri Raghunatha Das Goswami, who, under the guidance of Shri Swarupa Damodar and Shri Rupa Goswami, attained the summit of the Rasamaya Upasana, devotional service in amorous love of Braja. So in this way, this is the method by which you can very quickly advance. If you are in Shri Vrindavan Dham, you should always be under guidance of the pure devotees. Vancha kalpatarvasya kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Haribo.